You know, there's a lot of excitement in the prospects of a deal being forged between Israel and Saudi Arabia through the Abrahamic Accords, hopefully, God willing. But how has Saudi Arabia's changing relationship with Israel affected public discourse about Jewish-Muslim dialogue? Saudi Arabia being such a massive Sunni state, right?
So, have you heard of the Muslim World League? A Muslim World League is one of the biggest Muslim organizations in the world, and it's headed by a Saudi religious scholar. His name is Muhammad al-Ais, Dr. Muhammad al-Ais. I know him personally. He shocked the world when he went to Auschwitz in 2020, to the concentration camps, and he prayed there, and he called for restoring the friendship between Muslims and Jews, or reconciliation Muslim-Jewish relations. That was under the direct command of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And it's very positive what he did. So, I believe eventually Saudi Arabia and many other countries will have peace with Israel. Based, of course, on different conditions, but eventually they will come around. And this will change the Middle East for good. But I'll be very blunt with you. We need a strong America to make this happen.
Huh.
And we now have a strong America with a president who speaks the language of the Middle East.
Wow. I think that in the Middle East, concessions are viewed as a weakness, and leadership is respected when it's through strength.
Yes.
But tell us about what life is like on the ground in Saudi. What do ordinary Saudis feel about Israel? Do they visit Israel? And vice versa, do Israelis go to Saudi? I don't think so.
They go with their second passport.
They go with an Israeli passport, right?
Not yet. Not yet, but many Israelis go to Saudi in so many conferences. I've met with them, but they are American Israelis or French Israelis, but it will happen one day. So what does the ordinary Saudi think? Saudis are very kind-hearted people, but I just don't want you not to misjudge them. What would you expect from a Saudi who is being fueled day and night with lots of misinformation about Israel, about Jews, or about even Judaism? What would you expect the ordinary Saudi to think of Israel or the Jews? Negative.
Of course, propaganda.
But I would say even this negativity dropped from 80% to 40% in the past 10 years. Plus, I've been to 3 book fairs in the Arab world in the past 6 months. 3 book fairs in different parts of the Middle East. And I was very curious to know what are the books that talk about Jews or Judaism or Israel. I'm really sorry to say this, but the Protocols of the Elders of Zion is still popular.
Oh my gosh, Protocols of the Elders of Zion, a Nazi propaganda piece.
It's a forgery that started in Russia. Many people take it for granted that it is a factual book, which is not.
An attempt for the Jewish people to take over every industry in the world, effectively.
When it says the Jews control the media, in the Protocol of Zion, say the Jews are doing bad. You know, they're not applying the protocol so good. It seems like someone else is doing the protocols. So, unfortunately, this book is still popular. And there are other influential Arab philosophers.
Is it Mein Kampf over there too?
No. But the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, a great encyclopedia about Jews, Judaism, by an Arab professor. His name is Abdul Wahab al-Masiri. He's a prominent Arab influencer and also a philosopher. But his encyclopedia is filled with propaganda against Jews and against Israel and against the Jewish people in general. So what would you expect? Negativity. But, as I told you, they were dropped, and they will, inshallah, be dropped even more and more when Abraham Accords expand. So when I emphasize on the importance of having a strong American leadership that would broker the Abraham Accords and expand it, this will change everything. Because you know, how does this hate go away? When you have more people-to-people connection, when you have more exchange programs, when you have Saudis and Israelis meet and greet and learn more about each other from their experiences on the ground, not from the media. So this is how it is on the ground. I'm just drawing a very realistic picture. I don't want to tell you, no, everything is fine, or no, it's all bad. It's in between, but it's moving forward to a greater place.
You know, I'm so grateful, Loai, for your message of hope amidst a very realistic approach to what's going on in the ground. You're not painting it, you're not putting lipstick on the pig, God forbid. You're being honest about the propaganda and about the systemic hatred and anti-Semitism. But it's such a breath of fresh air to learn about the emerging trends and how people just want to move past the hate, and how slowly but surely we hope they will be able to reach a point of normalizing relations.
And Rabbi, I want to say one thing. I want to thank the Jewish communities around the world, including the Chabad in Palm Beach, for giving the floor to so many Arab peace activists like myself to speak up. Because when you help us amplify the voice of reason and of peace, you are directly or indirectly encourage other voices to speak up. And I'm really grateful, and so many Arab peace activists are grateful to you and to so many other Jewish communities in the United States, in Europe, in Canada, for giving us the floor. Because unfortunately in the Arab world, not many people are willing to listen to a different point of view. You know, I had an interview like a month ago in Arabic, in an Arab channel about Zionism, and it seems like it was a very controversial topic. And I said, well, it shouldn't be. The word Zionism is so toxic in the Arab world. But you know what Zionism is? I always say Zionism can be defined in one single line: the right of the Jewish people of self-determination in their ancestral homeland. Ancestral what? Ancestral homeland.
By divine decree.
Of course, but it's an ancestral. But this is the connection. So when they ask me, but how do you say this? Give us some proofs other than the Bible, because we don't believe in. I said, okay, you don't believe in the Bible. That's fine. We have archaeological evidence that shows the connection of Jews to this land. Not only archaeological evidence. Where does the word Jew come from? The word Jew itself is a proof of this connection.
It's a Hebrew word.
It's a Hebrew word.
Which comes from the name Yehuda, Judah.
You know the complete answer would be? The ideal answer? When Joshua ben Nun, a Jewish character or an Israelite character, partitioned the land of Canaan, he made the 12 tribes of Israel, and he gave a portion of the land to the fourth son of Jacob, Yehuda or Judah, and they were never called Jews before 586. They were called Israelis or Israelites. You know Jonah, he said, Every Anochi, I'm only a Hebrew.
A Hebrew.
A Hebrew. I'm only a Hebrew. But in 586, when the Babylonians inquired about the origin of those who were brought by Nebuchadnezzar, and they said, where you guys are coming from? We come from Judah. We are the Jews. And they were called the Jews. And I always say that if your grandfathers were brought from the portion of the land that was called Binyamin, you would now be called the Binyaminites. Or the Ephraimites. It was from the north. So the word Jew itself says that my connection to the land is undisputed. You cannot take it away. And that interview made a whirlwind in the Arab world. No one wants to listen. But I understand, that's fine. Because the 17-year-old Loai would have the same, what are you saying? You're a Zionist. It's a compliment, by the way, to say a Zionist. But I'm just saying that lots of backlash. And not many people are willing to listen. But when you do it more and more and more and more, you will penetrate their way of thinking, and eventually they will listen. Eventually they will listen.